my name is Marlene. I'm 48 years old. I am a fashion designer, dressmaker, and I am diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. I found out I have breast cancer in May 2021. Initially, I went to the doctor in February because I have a lump. I feel a small little lump underneath my arm. So I went to get it checked out. And from there, tests start to proceed, one test after the other test, after the other test. And so finally in May, I was told that I have breast cancer. Didn't know the stage as yet, but I was told I have breast cancer. I told my aunt, then I told my uncle, then my sister told my brother, because I was a little bit nervous to tell my brother, because he's a baby. So I was a little bit nervous to tell him. And then eventually, my family is huge. Initially, they didn't believe. Some believed, some didn't believe, because I wasn't showing any signs and symptoms of being sick, of having cancer, or in their mind what cancer represents, how it must look. So initially some believed, some didn't believe, until I end up in the hospital. That's when some believed. When I was in the hospital, because up until I reached at the hospital, I didn't know the stage it was. I didn't know how bad it was. Because at KPH, that's where I started to go, I had some issues because they were carrying me around, do this test, do that test, do this test, do that test. And each visit, nobody could have said to me, yes, you have breast cancer, but you have stage 1, you have stage 2, you have stage 3, you have stage 4. But when I went to Hope and met with their specialists there, and they started to question me, and I started to question them. And they sat me down and they tell me the stage I am, they tell me how far it has spread, and they just put it out all on the table. And so I know exactly where I was, exactly what is the procedure, exactly the next step. My arm started swelling, my right arm. And even going to KPH, I was asking them, can't you do anything about the swelling of the arm? Not understanding why the arm was swelling. And so my physician, my regular doctor, I went to her. Actually, she was the one who opened the letter. Now I remember. And tell me that it was cancer. And she said to me that she was going to refer me to a doctor who can remove fluid from the body. And I said yes, because my arm started to get stiff and hard and I couldn't use it. I'm a dressmaker, so I need to use the scissors. So it reached a point where I couldn't use the scissors. And so she said she'll get in contact and tell me to give me a number. Anyway, I had other challenges within the body, because not only was my arm swelling, but my right breast started to swell until it burst. And so we went to the doctor to get the breast dressed. And when she dressed it, I said to her, fine, put me onto that lady, let us see what we can do to get this arm down. In my mind, whatever is happening to the arm, that is why it is happening to the breast. So one Saturday, when I was dressing the breast, it started to bleed. And I panicked terribly. And I called her and she said to me, okay, it was locked down. So she couldn't move to come to me. I couldn't go to her. So all that needed to be done, I had to do it on my own. And so I did the best I could and I get it dressed. And she said to me, I'm going to put you on to the doctor that I promised. And she put me on to Patrice. And I called her, I think I called her the same night. I remember, I called her the same night. And she said to me, it was locked down. She said to me, come the Wednesday. And when I come to Patrice now, she said, and she looked at me, she said, this is more than what you are thinking. And so she said she's going to make some calls. And she did. She called me and I asked her for some information. I sent them off to her, all of my test results, everything I had. Send them to her. When I sent them to her now, she said she'll send them on to another doctor. And she did, because by the Thursday of the following week, I was in hope. Because right after lockdown, she said to me that Wednesday, reached the KPH the Thursday, talked to this doctor. And when I went, and everything was in order. There wasn't even any itch. Because I was saying to myself, when I go to KPH, I have to go find the docket, because sometimes I don't find the docket. It is an issue. You can't see the doctor. But when I went to KPH and I went to the department that she sent me, my docket was there. The doctors were there, and they go through my docket. And the doctor, I can't remember her name now. And the doctor said to me, after she got through my docket, I was in pain. She gave me a painkiller right away. And she said to me, you're not going home. And I'm like, I was looking at my cousin because my cousin was with me. And I said, what should I say? And she just looked at me and said, no, you're not going home. You can't go home. You have to go to home. Because your condition is very serious. You should have been in the hospital already. You should have been in treatment already. And that Thursday, I was at home. My grandmother got treatment at home. My godmother was at home. She got treatment at home. So I know of hope. So it was the reservation of being at hope was it took a toll mentally to acknowledge that, okay, I am going at hope. I know of hope that treat cancer patients, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, hope is where you go to die. But because of the stage that I was in, and I did not know what to do, and the help was offered, and it seemed that the doctor seemed as if she could have really assist me. I said to my cousin, okay, we are going to hope. My whole family panicked when they hear the word hope. But once admitted, treatment started right away. I was there the Thursday. I got my first treatment the Monday. And the recovery mood was in everybody's mind. And they got me relaxed, they got me comfortable. And I felt good. After the weekend into the following week, I felt good. And I mean, the care was very good. My support is awesome. My family support. And I have a lot of cousins, I have over 25 cousins. And even before we had formed a cousin group, so the cousin bond was strong. So when everybody heard that Marlene is sick, Marlene has cancer, I mean, the support wasn't hard to get, And then my aunt and uncle, it was a bit challenging because, as I said initially, it is now that I'm looking sick. My body's reacting now. I have a big mouth, a strong mouth, so if you follow my voice, you'll never think that I'm sick. And so that posed a challenge initially. But then when everybody realized the seriousness, they had their family meeting, discuss, the support become even stronger. But after being self-employed for 30 odd years, for 28, I'm sewing from I'm 18 years old. I'm sewing for myself from I'm 18 years old. To relinquish that and not having income to pay your bills, to take care of yourself, that is the hardest thing for me. To me, it's even hard more than taking on the challenge of the cancer. It's very hard. It's very hard. I'm getting there. I mean, financially I have the support. So it's not like say I don't know how I can manage, I don't know how I eat food, or my bills I can pay. That's not an issue. You know, because God has blessed my family. My brother is in Canada, my sister is in England. They work very well. So getting the financial support is not an issue. But the fact that you have to depend on somebody else, even for care, depend on somebody else to bathe you, to cook your meals, it is a challenge. I call it the journey. I call it the journey. It's a part of the journey, it's a part of the walk. And in my mind, I'm not going to tell you, so that's, as I said, hope for the best, but you plan for the worst. And so, in my mind, that is how I am dealing with the journey. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm making plans for the worst. And so that daily, I process that in my mind and said, okay, I have good days and bad days. So when the days are good, I'm happy. But like today, which is a bad day. Today is not a good day. Nothing is staying down. My stomach is upset. My chest feels as if there's a rock sitting on it. You know, today is a bad day. But I'm practicing, I'm learning to even in the bad days give a smile, be joyful. Because I'm breathing, I'm alive. And so even though it's a bad day, I just look for the good pointers in the bad day. And grab a whole lot of good pointers and try to crack a joke. Because when I'm bad and sad, my mother, who is now my caregiver, is sad and mad. And she tried to crack a joke, you know? Because it's also a bonding experience for my mother and myself. Because we have never been close. This is the closest we have ever been in my 48 years. And so I want to cherish the moment. And I want it to be special, you know? So whatever the outcome is at the end of the day, the journey will bring a story that will help somebody's life. And even help her and help my family. Because the truth is, cancer is what it is. It's not something that none of us have control over. We want to think that we have control over it, but it is an aggressive disease, and if it decides to grab a hold of you, you know, it will grab a hold of you, you know. And so it's something that we, as even human beings, we don't want to process, letting go and allowing, having something run in your life that you can't have control over. And so, even for me, I am processing it daily and saying, okay, I'm in my mind, I even say to I need to have control over you, knowing that, really and truly, I don't have control over it, you know. And so I try to have moments. I try to have moments with my family. My aunt, one of my aunts, she come and she do a sleepover. And when she don't come this week. And I say, I'm not coming for sleepover this week. And she said, I can't come this weekend, and probably next week. And so I use that sleepover as a moment to spend that time with her, to spend that time, you know, have that like a bonding moment. Some stay away because they can't face the finality. And I say, eventually she might not make it. I'm believing, but she might not make it, you know, because it is what it is. And then death is what it is too. It's not something that I'm afraid of. None at all. But it's just looking at it down the line and seeing it and say, this could be the finality. Don't sit home. Get help. You don't know your ending. You don't know your ending. You can't determine your ending. Even though our health system is what it is, we have excellent doctors there, we have excellent nurses, and we have people who care. If within your circle, you don't sense that you're getting that care or that attention that you need, step out of your circle. That is what I did initially. When I was going back and forth at the doctors and doing tests and not knowing what was wrong, and my immediate family, relatives, they weren't paying me much attention, I step out of my circle, and I reach out to my friend, and she reached back out to me, and I said, there's a problem. And she said what it is, and I went to look for her, and I explained to her, and she started to go to the doctors with me. She never missed an appointment. She's always there. So eventually I moved in and stayed with her. Step out of your circle. There must be somebody who can give you an ear and say, I can help you. The world is not that cruel. Somebody is there who can say, a friend, a neighbor, and say, let me help you, let me assist you, to a point where when that person can't go anymore, somebody else will be there. You won't be left alone and say, boy, nobody not love me, nobody not care. Somebody is there. So don't sit at home. If you feel a little lump under your arm, if you feel a little lump in it, let it be nothing. Go and do everything and say, oh, I know nothing. Rather than sit. And mine was months, it wasn't years. We're talking March 2021. And we're now in September. And I'm now at a stage 4. That is months. So you don't know what is happening within your body. So don't sit at it. Go to your health center. Go to the hospital. Because health center sometimes send you on to the hospital. Go to the hospital. Do the test them as fast as you can. Don't wait for months and say, boy, I may not have the money. You can get them done free. You just have to get up and move. Because some I pay for, but some I get done free of charge. So get up. Get moving. And don't listen to nobody say, are your neighbor do you something? Trust me. Get up, get moving.